Welcome to the No BS Short-Term Rental Podcast, an unfiltered look into the global vacation and short-term rental industry.
I'm Mateo Bradford.
And I'm John Stokinger.
And this is our podcast. We bring the right people to the table at the right time, giving you an inside view and take on the short-term rental industry like no other podcast can.
Morning, Mateo. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, man. Season 4, episode 3, and it's announcement day, at least recording on announcement day. So we're kind of mixing it up. Going to mix it up today a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're no guest. We're just going to talk about our new roles, and let's talk about your announcement that just recently dropped right before we're recording this. There's a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of likes, a lot of heart emojis, a lot of comments.
I haven't even looked yet. I just dropped it and was like, on the dunk contest.
Well, speaking of dunk contest,
that dude is wildly out the building. I loved every second of it.
it was insane.
Yeah. So, and to take this into the No BS Sports podcast now, they can change that format, man. Like the All-Stars need to play in the game. Like there's no way John Morant should not have been he should have been in that dunk contest. Anyways, I digress. We'll stop and talk about that later on our sports channel.
Yeah. It was interesting, like seeing that kid in high school too, like, and then coming, watching him, like he'd been on videos. What's that kid's, what's his name?
McLeod.
No, McClung or something like that.
McClung.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I seen him too. And I love an underdog story. So I think, and he came in there and he, etched his, his name in the record book. He came in and he did his thing. He was amazing. I know. First time.
He didn't miss one. It was insane. It was I was thoroughly impressed. And he's got some ups.
He does. He's got some ups. The game, and it's good. It keeps the game exciting because with this weird format and like drafting people, there's no more East versus West. So it's like the concert was, anyways.
Yeah. They need to fix some shit. But all right, back to short-term rentals, back to vacation rentals. We both have new roles.
We do.
And this is going to be a shorter episode. We'd love to go ahead and just kind of let our audience kind of know why, the who and the why, and and where we're taking the companies we work for. And let's actually start with you.
Can we talk about the sunsets behind us? Can we talk about the little things that are like it's a new day, like kind of going on?
Sunrise, by the way. I made sure it's a sunrise.
That's what I mean. Did I say sunset? I meant sunrise.
You did say sunset, but I
mean sunrise. Yeah. No, I love that. That's huge. And as soon as I saw that background, I was in love. But no, I think it's definitely a new season for us. Lots of new things coming into a new year. Personally, professionally, we're doing a lot of work. A lot of things are going on. But primarily, these opportunities and to keep the train rolling.
There you go. There you go. For those that are watching,
shout out to, it was Morehouse's Founders Day this weekend. So shout out to Morehouse. Had to do that. But no, honestly, I am thrilled to, be working with the Guestor team, Dennis, Cedric, Michael, those guys. This mission, if you know me, is me.
Well, first of all, what is your title?
So I'm head of fund development for Guestor. And so working with this amazing team to build this community of investors, guests, realtors, property managers to really make short-term rental, vacation rental investment a community-based investment platform that is really there for everyone to take down the barriers of access to taking advantage of the wealth opportunity that this industry creates for so many. And right now, building out a diversified fund of high-performing vacation rental homes here in the U.S. and soon to be globally, and with the mission of also breaking down the investment opportunity to when we say accessible, like we really do mean accessible to everyone. What's coming up in the future, what will be available this summer will be, a platform that is accessible to all, and not just, an opportunity, but it's going to be education. It's going to be everything that I talk about, everything that my kind of experience and background has been, within this space, where, teaching wealth building, not just giving you tools to wealth build, but also giving you the education around how to ensure that you are building appropriately, giving you sound fundamentals and giving you access, which
When
is
you
huge for
when you
us.
say you,
Yes.
who do you mean by
I
you?
mean, literally everyone. Like this will be, right now while we're building out our fund, we are working with accredited investors, waiting for our big A, which will allow us to expand our investment pool. The whole idea of Guestor is to build a community which includes guests and giving guests the ability to even have fractional ownership within the properties in which they stay in, and creating a community that combines everyone in that ecosystem and gives them an opportunity for ownership. And you and I both know I've been kind of working on this in the when we had them on we had them on the podcast, and we've been talking, and I've been talking to them for quite some time. And this opportunity just really resonated with me because it represented so much of what I believe in, and in being able to actually be a part of building out, this community really just speaks to everything that I feel is important. And so I'm super excited to be joining this team, leading this opportunity as Agent 899, having some fun, and it bringing some fun to this, right? Like it should be fun. Like in it, this opportunities and us being in hospitality and the things that we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to teach a lot of people, and we're going to create a lot of opportunities for people to, and really invest in our community and really spread the wealth and ensure that this is something that is not just fly by night, but really will leave people better off and give people access to something that seems very far away for a lot of people. And
I
that's
mean, even for my
owning in this space is, no one talks about how much are we really talking to ownership in this
right.
space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so coming in, you're investing and you're going to be, part owner of either one or multiple or the whole portfolio in the future, have the ability to have ownership of a whole portfolio of, guest or investment properties.
right.
So and please correct me if I'm wrong. So say I'm coming and I'm staying in a guest for property. Maybe I'll see some information on the wall or in the guest app that says, "Hey, do you want to be part of the ownership? Do you want to invest in
Yeah,
this specific property, or do you want to learn more about investing in a guest?" Or say I had 5 to 10K sitting around, or
yeah,
more or less, and
yeah,
I wanted to put a little bit towards whatever that amount is,
yeah.
this investment into this fund. Theoretically, outside the okay, great. As the portfolio grows and scales and starts gaining wealth, I in turn would gain wealth. But what happens if I just want to invest in one?
Mhm.
Will I also gain wealth? And what happens if, and what is, are there other perks that come with like invest, like
100%.
with it, or just like, is it just like a straight, financial transaction?
No, we're building a community that's going to have perks. Like you'll have access to, yeah, I mean, we'll have fractional ownership. So there'll be a diversified fund, which will have think of it as a mutual fund of sorts, or a mutual fund type investment where you'll have different homes within that fund, a diversified group of funds that are, earning revenue and that you would invest into that fund, as well as having the opportunity to invest in, fractional opportunities. Think of, a Robinhood style type of investment, to whereas you can invest in a mutual fund or you can invest in an individual stock, right? And you will, our investors at Guestor will have the opportunity to invest in an individual home. So they're staying in this home and they're like, oh, okay, they join the guest community, they may have the opportunity to invest in that home specifically and also have the ability to invest in the diversified fund. But with the goal of really building a community that does have perks, right? Perks for staying at properties within, the portfolio of homes that we have within our community of homes. There'll be community perks, that you would have with any other type of, potentially membership program. So, you'll have guest perks like, early check-in, late checkout, events, things that we are building up to ensure that this is truly a community and that there is truly value, yes, in the investment opportunity, but also as being a part of this community. The
What?
education piece, right? And that's
Yeah.
one thing that you spoke to, again, opening up to something with a fractional investment. Yeah, $100, right? Being very yeah, that will get you a piece of the investment, but we'll be very honest about the proportion of what that investment is. And that's where the education piece comes on, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
we also want to teach you that with that $100 investment, what that is, and teach you fundamentals about how that investment and how you could use something as simple as that $100 investment to continue to grow and get and build out your portfolio, your specific portfolio, whatever that may be specific to you. And so you will see a lot of content from us around education. You will see a lot of fun content as we are developing and building out this fund and building out our properties. You will see as we are partnering with best in class, and I mean best in class in this industry, our
I,
realtor friends, right? Our property manager friends,
so I have a
all of
question with
those.
that in partnering with Best in Class. For those that are, of us that know the space and know the industry we're in,
Mhm,
knows that, the team you mentioned early on,
mhm.
Dennis and everyone else, and Mike, and I'm sorry, I'm having a
And Cedric,
Cedric.
Cedric.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. You're all part of the Cassiola family, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, you're only in Orlando,
Mhm.
Miami, and Aruba. It's like you're partnering outside, like they're just who started it. But you
Correct,
work with best in class property managers and real
correct,
investors in
correct,
any top vacation rents, or, vacation destination.
correct, and that is our goal as a fiduciary of the fund. I will work, and we will work with the best in class managers in the markets in which we expand into, and as we're building out. Yeah, but that just goes to the strength of and the quality of who we are, right? And having a fund like this that is built by professionals for everyone is what I like to say quite a bit. Makes a huge difference because we know how to choose our partners. We when we say we pick best in class, we know how to pick best in class because we know what that standard should be. And we're not just and not to knock the other private equity and VC funds that are coming into this space, but we're doing this as professionals through the professional lens with the deliberate intention of building something that is, professional class, but is for not just pros. This isn't
Well, I
just
mean,
for, high
think of
net worth
it, think of
individuals.
it this way, like you earn your licks, like you earn
Oh yeah.
like like the team has earned its right to go ahead and call himself pros because you are pros, and you've learned from mistakes, and Cassiola is not a is an established, well established in property management company, professional property management company in the industry, and that
Right.
super well known. And so it's not like you're coming in for like, hey, we could do this. I have, I got 25 properties, or, whatever. I've been doing this for 3 years and I got 12 properties in wherever. Follow me. I know what I'm doing. It's any one of these things is, you've set
No, it
yourself up
makes a
for success.
difference too. And essentially, what we're looking to do here is build, SGR vacation rentals should be it should be an investment grade product that are done at a high level, that are high performing,
Right.
that are run efficiently, like with the great managers in this industry, and being able to create and with a focus on building an institutional investment class product for this industry. It's should and can and will be done and is being done. And
Right.
so, but that's the goal. And, I think that's also important too, because, we get to set who we become in this space. We get to scale appropriately. We get to set the size and the growth of this fund, appropriately so that, you know, we aren't, losing, our, I guess, kind of going straying off our path for us to be able to create the community, to, the character of who and what we are. And we want to be able to maintain and control that. And so we are diligently designing this with that in mind to ensure that, we don't lose our soul kind of in this process.
Right.
Right.
Well, man,
And
I'm
that's exciting. And that's, for me, how hugely important that part is for me. And so, this is so exciting, and having these discussions with these with the accredited investors we're dealing with right now, and setting the stage for our broader offering coming up soon. Like I can't have imagined how incredibly just fulfilling this is already, and how exciting this is, and just the great feedback we're already getting. Like, because I know there's similar
I can't
companies.
picture a better place for you, like, at all. We've been talking about, you were in transition longer than I was. But like, and we chatted, we've had lots of phone calls and text chats and like just offline stuff between the two of us. And this is by far like exceeds expectations. I'm really excited to see where you and the team take it. So kudos
Definitely.
to you. And
Well, and thank you for you and being my producer, and
yeah. So if you want,
pushing me to do things that I feel are ridiculous and uncomfortable around. So I definitely appreciate that. And but
we'll have a
so
link
there now.
to we'll have a link to your email,
Yeah.
uh, to the website, and if you're on LinkedIn, there'll be a link to the his announcement video. But we'll also do a link to my new company, Direct,
Yes.
my email for Direct, and my announcement video, which went out probably 3 weeks before yours did. Um,
Right.
but it's so congratulations, and I
Thank
guess
you.
let's kind of pivot
So
to.
no, yeah, now it's time for us to dig into what you've been doing, because you not so subtly dropped the bomb on on letter of intent day uh
Yeah.
3 weeks
No,
ago.
it's a great fit. For those that listen to the podcast, that I lost my job with Hopper right at the beginning of December. And I was in a good position because I had the ability. Hopper took care of me and put, and I have severance, and I was able to go ahead and take my time and find the right role.
Yeah.
Um, with that said, it was still right before Christmas, so it's kind of a little blow, but at the same time, had some time to make the right decision. Interviewed with a ton of companies, knew that I wanted to go and, transition from just an, individual contributor role to a role where I can, have a greater impact and teach and help drive in a direction. And I really, it was interesting because spending however many months I was with, 14 months or so outside of software, in the distribution side with Hopper,
Mm.
I realized I'd missed software. So that was kind of my focus. It's like, all right, I kind of want to get back into software. And my time, I had a 12-month non-compete. So that had expired. So I knew I could come back in and not have to worry about it. Looked at a few opportunities, got deep with a couple opportunities. And Direct was, just by far, the direction that made the most sense for me. So
Mhm.
I'm the director of sales for Direct.
Right.
If you don't know what Direct is, we are a property management software, comparable to all the other softwares out there. I like to say we're better, but we have different strengths.
Right.
So it's kind of where we are, kind of what we're trying to. We're the new standard for property management systems. What that means is it's intuitive. If
Mhm.
you're a property manager and you have 2 homes or you have 2,000 homes, we're an easy to use, intuitive software that will scale with you. So
Mhm.
that was really important for me. Another company that I was looking at, um, it is a very established software, but the software is a little it was outdated,
Mhm.
and it was not necessarily forward facing right now, and it wasn't really. It needed a lot of work, and the investment is coming for that other company, and there's a lot of promise to what it's going to be, and they have a lot of clients, and so that was intriguing to me, and the team
But,
behind it.
but talk about that, because you did a lot of diligence, right? Like, I don't think people, and we should probably do a whole segment on, this topic, right? Like even in like picking the right roles for you and kind of just watching the diligence in which you did, in vetting these opportunities because the area which is, it's good to know that you miss this area and this is an area that you wanted to be back in and knowing what level you wanted to get back in. But this is also like this is the blood in the water kind of area of our industry, right? Like there's a lot of competition, everyone's vying to get what they feel like is the right path, right? For, our industry and our space, right? And that's not an easy task because we're not this monolith, right? Like we're not just this one, kind of homogenous body with homogenous business that, a one size, solution is going to fit for everyone. So, talk about your process in choosing and getting actually to direct because it wasn't just like you flipped a coin and it was like, oh, you felt better about direct. You were diligent in your process, right? You broke the system, you got in, you really, immersed yourself in what they were having to offer and what this potential opportunity was going to require. And with your background and where you came from, it's especially coming from the software space. Like even I was a little surprised that like, oh shit, like this is, oh really? This is where you're going. Like, tell me more.
Yes, I mean, it comes down to there's a few key things, backing, is it funded, and how well is it funded? Great. So that's one thing. Then next is leadership. Is this team a team that I can, roll up my sleeves and speak my mind and, and really, what happens if there's a confrontation between, my ideas and, the leadership's ideas, so, what happens then? Are we able to talk it out? Are we able to go ahead and, am I going to be part of a leadership team, coming in? And both of these companies that I was looking, at the final two were, yes, 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 great leaders, funded. One's more funded than the one I'm in right now, but that
Right.
doesn't matter.
Right.
Ultimately, then you have to look at the product itself. What if anyone that's in sales, you know, selling a roadmap or selling potential um, is I don't recommend it unless it's bulletproof and it can't be, there's no way it's going to back out.
Right.
And then it's still hard, and I don't recommend it. I like selling something that is here today and ready to go. And the software that Direct is it was a little backstory to Direct, and you mentioned me doing my research. I demoed over 5 hours of this
Yeah.
software before I made the decision as well. I wanted to see, and how does it stack up to my previous software when I was working with Track? How does it compare to the other software that I'm familiar with? You
Right.
know, and back in 2019, Direct won. There's the Keystone Awards. They won Best New Software,
Mhm.
and so they had that accolades, but they also kind of fell flat after that, and they didn't
Right.
come through and deliver for a few potential clients. And it was interesting because I kind of paused on this a lot because Direct hasn't made a huge splash in the space after
Right.
winning that, and so this was my hesitation. It's like, but I'm looking at the software, I'm like, it's really solid. Like
Right.
I really I get it. So where did the team or why did it fall flat? Well, it wasn't ready in 2019 for who they were going after, how they were going after it. But the product team, Lauren and Wes and Chad and Ryan and the whole team behind Jeff and everyone at the Direct team really focused on the software
Right.
or since then. Only not necessarily focusing on sales as much, but how do we make our software bulletproof? How do we fix these issues? We know we lost A, B, C, these companies, or we know, and we know why because they were
Right.
transparent and why we didn't win them. So
Right.
let's fix that. And they looked inward and they focused on the software itself. And it's truly is solid. And I think that with a little bit of just kind of maybe not necessarily focusing directly on like enterprise, even though it's totally capable of enterprise and they have enterprise clients and we will get there. I think changing the focus and direction, the narrative a little bit about who Direct is and why we are the best software to choose really is going to change, turn the corner for the company and for direct. So I'm excited. The reason behind it, a lot of due diligence,
Mhm.
yes, it's potential, but it's already the bones are here. The other needs a little more work as far as bones and setting the foundation up, and it's really excited to dive in and to get people excited and re-looking at direct. I think that the main narrative and what I want to put out and what we need to put out with direct is, if you're a property manager from 2 to 2000 and even have the slightest inkling of looking at a new software and you start demoing a software, if you're not demoing direct as well, you're doing yourself a disservice. I just want direct to be part of the conversation. If we don't win, that's fine. I think we will win a lot. I just
Mhm.
want to get the software in front of you, take a look at it, let us show what we can do, and that's the direction I'm going with direct.
I love it. And so where are you gonna be on the scene first? Like, I know you're already out. I know you're having meetings and you're talking to people, but where can people expect to see you anytime soon?
Yeah, we'll be. I guess it's like 2 weeks now. We're going to be in Kansas City. We've got a nice corner booth. I'll be in Kansas City, there at Verma Spring Forum, and then 2 weeks later, I'll be seeing you. I think we'll be at STR Wealth Conference in Nashville. Kind of. So if you're a host and you have lesser units and want to professionalize, or if you're on another company that is helping you out and you want to take a look at our software, I will be there. I'm co-hosting a hospitable host party on that second night there with Julie George and the whole crew. It's
Yeah.
so excited to be part of that. Will with hospitality.fm is going to be there. Price Labs co-sponsoring it as well. The shout out to that team as well. I'm so excited to be doing that. And then the normal circuit. I think we're going to be at Northwest VRP as well,
Oh wow. Okay.
in Reno, in April. So
I have to crash that one.
yeah, we're doing the circuit.
Well, fantastic, man. I love it. And congratulations again. It's fun.
Yeah,
The rising
it's a
sun.
new year. Things are changing.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think there's a lot of opportunity for us, but I think what we're doing gives great opportunity for those that are interested in these type of things. Investment or software. There's lots of options out there, and there's lots of great options out there. But take a look at what we have to offer. And these are our selfless, shameless plugs.
Plugs on something that we make all the time.
Yeah,
And the other things we got going too. Derailed coming very
yeah.
soon.
Yeah, March
Great
March
project.
14th. It's less than a month away.
This
It's
is gonna be so
Derailed.
fun.
The first episode. We have recorded. Neely has written like so many episodes already. We will have, by the time the first episode drops, we will have 8 or 9 episodes recorded. The nice thing is that will put us. One goes out a week. The total number of episodes, I think we're going to be somewhere in the 12 to 15 episodes. The story is amazing.
Yeah.
It truly is. And there's so many amazing people that are in the vacation rental industry that are a part of this. Shout out to all of them. I'm not going to sit here and do a laundry list, but there's so many cool people that you'll know. And we'll be teasing it. If you're not following our socials, we'll put a link to the Derailed socials as well. Give us a follow on Instagram and on Facebook. We're putting out stuff pretty much if not every day, every other day. We're going to be teasing this, and lots of links in this episode for for both direct and for Guestor, but also for Derailed, and our silly videos, our silly intro videos, which are pretty good. If you haven't checked out Mateo's, check it out.
Yeah, be gentle.
No, it's good.
The funniest part is still walking through those people's conversations. They were like,
dude, those guys are like, what the fuck? I love it.
Shout out to the guys in Florence, man, and who were gracious enough to allow me to interrupt there.
That's so funny. Well, until next week, we have coming back hot with a great guest next week.
Yep.
Excited for you to pay attention to that. And if you like our podcast, even in the slightest,
Yep.
go to Apple Podcasts, give us give us 5 stars, leave a review for us. That helps us out tremendously. And
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
watching on YouTube,
Like
smash
this
that
and
like button.
subscribe. Yeah. Mash that notifications button, the whole 9. So we appreciate you. We're grateful for you. And
Till
have
next
a great
week.
week.
This podcast is a Hospitality.fm production.